Alright, hey YouTube. So, another live show that I'm going to be streaming to Instagram. If you'd like to join in on these live shows as they happen, make sure you are following me on Instagram. So, without further ado, let's get into the intro, and then I'll just get right into today's live show. Hey everyone, sorry about the wrong angle there for a second. It's been a while since I've actually done one of these, and so starting off with using the wrong camera angle first of all, but you know, it happens. Guess you get to see my ring light there for a second, but yeah, so let's catch up a bit. I know it's been a minute since I've made any content. There wasn't any notification of this live. I didn't want to commit and then have to give up on actually having the live. I'm also a little bit bundled up because it's quite cold outside today, and I also need to, fix my hair and all of that, and I just didn't feel like it. So there's a little bit of laziness too. But yeah, I am recording this for YouTube while I do this. There are some announcements that are going to be coming up pretty shortly here, but I'm not quite ready to make that announcement yet, so I'm going to leave it. But there are some things that are going to be coming up right away. And again, I apologize, I didn't give a notification for this live that it was coming up, but I just wanted to sit down and just talk about how things have been, because I've been quite busy over the last little while, and I feel like I haven't really had the opportunity to make much content in the last couple weeks. That probably will change this week and next week because I have a little bit of extra time the next couple weeks. The problem is that I use all of the downtime that I have right now pretty much to rest up for the next section or stretch that I have at my job. So we'll see how that goes and all of that. But yeah, so that's how that's been going. I guess I'll get into a bit of how I've been feeling. So this winter is really rough. We've been having temperatures fluctuate up and down a lot. We've also been having issues with snowstorms and all of that, and those are things that are common that I struggle with. So for me, it's generally when there's a snowstorm coming that I can feel that it's a little bit rough. It's generally when I'm dealing with the colder temperatures that I notice a little bit more struggle. But I'm definitely doing a lot better this year than I have been for the last couple of years. So I'm not sure what that's about, but it's good sign, and I'm glad I'm not struggling because it makes navigating a lot easier. I'm just gonna see here if I have any. Oh yeah, so I guess I will share this. I have this upcoming in the vlog where I will talk about this a little bit. But a week or so ago, what was a week ago? It was about a week ago now, I was able to get in a workout. Now, workouts are something that I have been struggling with quite a bit actually. Like, I've been massively struggling getting in workouts. I knew this would be a problem and a little bit of a struggle from the get-go, but, it's been a lot more of a struggle than what I originally planned. So that's been a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I did manage to get in a decent workout. My legs got really, really sore after this one, but they did eventually feel better. I'm hoping actually tomorrow I'll be able to get in another one. So when I haven't been able to work out for a while, the way I get back into it is I do a workout once a week for a few weeks. Try to get that going, and then after a few weeks, when I feel comfortable, I will actually increase it so that I'm doing 2 workouts in a week, and I'll try and work that around the schedule, and then I'll eventually get up to where I'm hopefully getting in 3. I don't really think doing more than 3 at this point is necessary, but if I feel like I want to, I guess I can always add in a 4th. I don't really want to do much more than that because I don't think I'd ever be able to fit it in, at least properly. So that's the plan with that. So yeah, I got in 6.5 miles in the last workout, so that was that. Oops. I'm struggling here today. I do want to talk about this one video that did really, really well. I woke up one morning to a bunch of notifications from my Instagram Live that one of my videos had been pretty much doing really, really well. And it's one that I'm not sure if I took a screenshot of it or not. Yes, I did. So I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but in the bottom here is circled, and this was the video that I did, kind of out of frustration, but it was kind of, I also consider it a really important video. This is the one video that if you guys are seeing this after the fact and you want to share a video from my platform, please make it this one, because when it comes to end goals and all of that, of where I want to go with this platform, it's not about using my illness to get attention, basically. It's to change a broken system. And when it comes to migraines, we are dealing with a very massively broken system. It's one that I think is broken because of stigma with migraines. It's one that I think is broken for a lot of different reasons, basically. But the major reason why this needs to basically change is so that those of us who are dealing with migraines and trying to find the right medication that'll work for us, we need to find something that will work. And a lot of those medications will be medications that are coming up. And in order to get newer research into newer medications, you gotta have an endpoint of these medications have to be affordable. And right now, almost none of the medications that are used for migraines are specifically for migraines, and the ones that are not covered and completely out of reach for most people. Now, the reason why I say the system is broken is because if you are able to find a medication that allows you to have a somewhat normal life with migraines, you're going to be able to get back and do the things that you did before, because it's your management of the migraines that is impacting on your quality of life and impacting on everything around you. Now, I will not say that what I've experienced with Aimovig is a cure. I still deal with a bunch of symptoms, but they're nowhere near as frequent, they're nowhere near as bad, they're nowhere near as hard on me as what they were previously. I hope that makes sense. So I've kind of showed this in my video content over the past couple of years. So I've showed that how much I've changed, basically. You've got, with this video, the reason why I want you guys to share this one is basically because you've got a system issue that needs to be fixed, right? So you've got, and this is only going to change if people become aware of how much migraines impacts us overall. Okay? So, hello to my one viewer. It looks like I lost them, but that's okay. I get a little bit nervous during these lives. I will admit that I'm not used to doing this. And my goal for 2022 was to get in a live a week, because these videos, I can basically just sit down and talk about whatever's on my mind. The problem that I've been noticing is when you're more stable, you don't have as much to talk about. So let's talk a little bit more about this broken system. So with this broken system, why is this system... I got a really good question basically on this latest video that I had. Now, I'm going to make a short video to respond to this comment because I think it's really important that this gets its own video. But the reason why I didn't have health coverage before, I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. So the reason with this, and I'm not sure here exactly where it was. Yeah, I'll have to go back and actually look for that comment, but essentially it was, why didn't you have healthcare coverage before you had healthcare coverage through work? So this gets into system issues, and I'm going to try and keep the politics out of this. But essentially when you're getting into health policy, you do have to get into a little bit of politics. I like to keep politics off my channel because it just makes people fight with each other. But essentially, what is happening is that with newer medications that are really expensive, like with Aimovig, you have to apply for an extended drug coverage through the province that you're in. And those provinces have to recognize that drug in order to cover it in their benefits program. Now, where I am in Saskatchewan, Aimovig is not currently recognized by this extended drug benefits. It's not in their list of approved medications, basically. I could use a lot of bigger words, but that's the easiest way I can explain it. So because it's not in that list, they cannot provide additional coverage. Now, why it's not in that list? The reasons why I keep getting told is because, oh, we're working on it. The reason why I think it's taking forever is because you've got stigma with migraines. People think that migraines are just another headache. They think that migraines are a severe headache. They don't understand that migraines come with a lot more symptoms than just a headache. Now, there's multiple reasons for this, I'm guessing, but it's a lot of misunderstanding about what migraine is, I think, is what it comes down to. People who know, and the weirdest and saddest part about this is that a lot of people know someone in their life that deals with migraines. I just don't think that a lot of people know someone with chronic migraine, which chronic migraine is different from episodic migraine. So you've got chronic migraine, which has a specific definition, and basically it's when you have migraines for more than 15 days of the month that impacts your quality of life or your ability to function, and that's been happening for longer than 3 months. So before, when I was trying to find a medication that worked before Aimovig, I was having about 20 days of migraine days per month where I was not functioning at all. Now you can imagine there how you can see how someone would not have an income with that and not be able to work, not be able to contribute to society. But mine had been happening for a long time, and like when I was being cared for, I was referred to a neurologist right away because I had IIH at the time. Now, I think there's a connection between my IIH and the chronic migraines. I really do. I think there's a biological connection, but I think there's a lot more going on underneath that, because it's quite ironic that I would have a condition like IIH and that it would transition into chronic migraine. And the thing is that a lot of people with episodic migraines can also transition into chronic migraines over time, especially if you ignore treatment for those migraines. From what I understand, I think there's a lot of things that even medicine doesn't understand about this, which could possibly explain why there isn't a lot of treatments available specifically for migraines. So a lot of the medications that you guys see out there that people use are actually for other reasons, but they're used in an off-label way. So they found that these medications actually help people with migraines. It's just basically with the older medications, it's basically just these medications are used for something else, and we've discovered because over time it's helped with migraines. Like, they're not specifically for migraines, unlike things like Emgality and Aimovig. And you may be seeing some more on the market especially if you have American TV. So in Canada, we can't actually have direct-to-consumer advertising. We don't allow it. But if we get American stations and see American channels, you'll actually see drug companies advertising to Canadians, kind of, because we're watching an American station. But we technically don't have direct-to-consumer advertising here. But if you guys have noticed, there's some new medications on the market that are actually pills that are targeting the same thing that Aimovig and Emgality actually target. So I'm on Aimovig. I will specifically be talking about my experience with Aimovig as time goes on. I've got short videos. I've got YouTube videos on my experience with Aimovig. I strongly recommend you check that out. It's also available for those of you who are on Instagram right now. The Aimovig journey is available on my Instagram. I believe I've gotten that up. It's hard to keep track of where I am in content when it's so sporadic compared to when I was just focusing on this, when I was just trying to fill my time. So I started YouTube actually as a way to fill my time. And when you're dealing with migraines, the reason why it can be really difficult to function, and it can be very difficult to keep a schedule at all, because it's so unpredictable when you're going to be feeling bad. Like, as I've talked about in my previous videos, you can have triggers, right? But you may not exactly have it so that you can pinpoint exactly when you're going to get a migraine. Like, so the reason why you'll find friends who have migraines cancel on you is not so much we just don't want to go out. I mean, there's that, but when you're introverted, that can happen. But before, when you're managing with migraines, basically, the reason why you'll find people cancel is because a migraine will come out of nowhere, and it's not predictable sometimes on when it'll happen. But yeah, so I'm not really sure what else I want to talk about today. I am happy I've been noticing a few of you have joined. If you guys want to comment, if you have any questions and all of that, feel free to type it now if you want me to answer any questions. But I just want to say thank you for getting that Aimovig video up in views. Please continue to share that one. Share the longer one with the Aimovig journey, where I talk about different parts of that. Over time, now that I'm on Aimovig and have a decent amount of experience with it, I do want to do different videos on it, on different parts of taking it, because I want to talk about the science of it. I have a little bit of experience from my degree talking about CGRP, so I do want to talk about that, but I don't want to get into so much detail that it gets boring. So yeah, but the CGRP aspect is interesting because it has to deal with pain, and IIH and migraine share that in common, definitely. I mean, you're still dealing with a very, very severe chronic pain condition in both cases. And there's a lot, actually, that is basically the same between IIH and migraines, and the fact that you've got both chronic pain, both have very similar symptoms. Basically, with the migraines, is there's not a definitive reason for the severe headaches. Like with the IIH, they don't have an exact cause as to what's causing it. Like that's what the idiopathic means. We don't know why you're experiencing this condition, but you have it. But you have the signs of things like the optic nerve swelling. You don't get that in the actual migraines. Like with migraines, you don't have optic nerve swelling. So there's differences. There's very big differences in all of that. But, you know, yeah. So catching up, basically, I've been doing quite well. I've been managing quite well. I've often kept kind of how I've been feeling off of, basically out of my life at work, because I just don't think it's appropriate and all of that. Okay, as for DMs, I want to get into this. Okay, so with DMs, thank you for your comment. So I've had to turn away from my DMs. If you guys have something urgent that you really want a personal answer to, please go to my YouTube channel and get my email. You can access my email through my YouTube channel. I'm not going to give it out because I don't want this to be a little bit of a step for you guys. So, what do I mean by that? If you guys have a direct question that you guys want me to answer, please send me an email. That email is available through my YouTube channel. You can find that through the link on my bio. And this will allow me to respond to you guys more personally without having the typical bot accounts and all of that. I am tired of dealing with direct messaging on social media platforms because 3/4 of the messages are inappropriate and not related to my YouTube content. I have been able to connect with some people through the DM function on Instagram, but most of them are just trolling, or they're trying to flirt with you through your DMs. That's something as a female creator you get a lot. And so if you want to ask me a specific question, again, I will not give medical advice. I cannot give medical advice. Please don't give medical advice to each other. But it's, you know, with the medical stuff, if you have a question about personal experiences or all of that, feel free to email me. Again, thank you for that and all of that. So yeah, that's about the DMs. And I've actually, I think, put on a couple of notices that I do not respond to my DMs because of that. I do occasionally will look through for certain things, but I hardly ever check my DMs. So just a note there. When I get this other thing going, I might have a feature to be able to DM me, but as for right now, DMs are no go. Please email me, and you can find that email through my YouTube channel. Alright, so updates. I believe that's it. Exciting announcements coming up pretty soon. I'm hoping to launch something very exciting in the next week or so, maybe even next couple of days. I might even be able to get it going by the end of tomorrow. We'll see. But there's an exciting thing coming up with that. As for that, that's pretty much it. Again, DMs, email me so that you have another step that I know you're more serious and that I can get away from troll accounts and all of that. I apologize, but I've just had way too much problems with my DMs in the past. So, yeah. I believe you can still DM me, but I'm not likely to see it because I've had the notifications turned off for months. So, yeah. That's, I think, it for this one, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'm hoping to have more vlog content coming soon. I'm hoping to have more short content coming soon, but again, it all depends on how much free time I have. All right, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I know this isn't the best camera angle. I tried to make it so it was a little bit better, but it looks like the thing popped off a little bit. So, yeah. If you guys want to join again, if you want to join in on these lives, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I absolutely love the platform on Instagram just because it allows me to share photos of things that have come up in the past. It allows me to share things that have happened so that I can catch up and do updates. I just find that the comments are quite basically easier to navigate, and I've actually gotten some viewers. So yeah, I think that's it for this one, guys. Again, I have exciting things coming up in the future here, so stay tuned. Enjoying my content? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and then make sure you click the notification bell so you never miss any of my upcoming future videos. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.